It's the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast with Alex Trataros, John Meleka, and Raisi on the beat. Let's go.
What's good, everyone? Alex Trataros here with another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. And with me, as always, my buddy, my cousin pal, the man with the plan, the one and only, John Meleka. But before you ask John how he's doing, everyone, you know what it is. If you listen to this podcast and you haven't done so already, please make sure to subscribe. We're on all audio listening platforms. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. If you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to give us that 5-star rating. And if you listen to us on Apple, please make sure to read a comment. We will read it. If you don't know, now you do know, we are sponsored by Fansided and Minute Media. So you can find us over at the Jet Press or the Daily Knicks or the actual Fansided homepage itself if they decide to write about one of the Jets or the Knicks. We're also on YouTube. If you see our faces, you already know that. Knicks, Jets, ETC, period. No one writes out, etc. That's just wild. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you know when a new episode drops. And when you watch a video, hit the like button, leave a comment. We're getting a lot of comments for the last Knicks video with Corey Teleba going through the Knicks draft, okay? If you guys haven't checked that out and you're Jets fans and Knicks fans, go make sure to check that out. I know what you're thinking. Some of you think, like, if you listen to this podcast, aren't you both Jets and Knicks fans? No. Some people are strictly Knicks fans. Some people are strictly Jets fans. But if you're both, that's the beauty of this. You get to go listen to both. And while you're also over there, we got another podcast, Winning Picks Weekly, also sponsored by Minute Media. John, video producer Greg, our guy, co-host Chip Murphy. These guys go through every sport: basketball, football, baseball, hockey, soccer, cricket. No, I'm just messing around. Aussie.
Not that far.
Aussie football. They got you. They got you.
Oh, my Uncle Mike's been here from Australia. We've been going on some Aussie rule stuff. Man, I don't want to get into it.
If you guys need to put money down on the line, these guys will help you out. But make sure to bet responsibly when you go check them out. And then last and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. We are there. With that being said, my man John, Mr. Meleka.
What up?
Wearing your bling around your chest. What's good, bro? How you feeling today?
I have not taken this chain off, I think, since I was like 8 years old. But yeah, what up, man? Everything's good, dude. The Rangers lost in the last 45 seconds. That's the latest New York news. Kind of tough. But we just need one in Tampa. All right, we got another one coming out the day this episode drops. So I'll see how that goes. I'll be there game 5. So I really want this steal in Tampa so we could have a potential game to go to the Cup. And I'm there in the Garden. I mean, what else can you ask for? We got the Yankees and the Mets, top of the league, still rocking and rolling. No matter how much I try to jinx the Mets, I'm sure our video producer Greg, who's been a perpetual guest on this Jets episodes, he'll fill you guys in a little bit on that, I'm sure. But dude, I mean, everything is great. The NYCFC is killing it. MLS, things are great in New York sports. People are talking about the Knicks in the NBA Finals for absolutely no reason. Again, life is good. Dude.
None.
Life is good.
Well, it ain't that episode, because if there was that episode, we can talk about it tomorrow.
Life is good. Life is
Nonsense.
good in Knicks land. Not in New York land. Life is good in Rangers land. Life is good in Jets land. And of course, that's why we're here. We have the OTAs coming up, and we're about to get into all of it. But dude, just like think about from 1 year ago where we were sitting today, like how high our anxiety was. You know, what's Zach Wilson gonna do? We're watching every single second of every single movement he does. Like we're watching Elijah Moore. We have no idea what these coaches are gonna do. Greg's like, we're gonna win 2 games. It's a new coach. Like, you know, everything is just all over the place. We don't have a kicker. But now we're sitting here and we all feel pretty good, man. I feel like things are stable from the top down. And so, again, everything's good with me. Everything's good with New York sports. Life is good. How you doing, man? Out in the trenches, out in the green world. right? The NBA Green World things are happening over there. What's the weather like?
Thank God they lost yesterday, because the streets would have been insufferable trying to get to work today. But thank you, Golden State Warriors, for doing your job. Man, I've been enjoying these playoffs. Yesterday was just an ass whooping to the Boston Celtics. It's been an interesting series. Not necessarily a good series. Like, the first game was good. Second game, it's been interesting, I'd say. But we're not going to talk about that today. We can talk about that more tomorrow. But
Sounds like you're a
hey,
Celtics fan. First game was great. Second game was interesting. Is it a coincidence that the Celtics won?
No. Like, it was actually competitive, man. Because the last round, we didn't have really competitive. It was Warriors whooping the Mavericks' ass, and then we have the Celtics and the
whole
Heat.
Playoffs
With
stink.
disgusting,
if you're looking for good playoffs, man,
disgusting.
Watch the NHL. If you're looking for good playoffs, go watch playoff hockey, man.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. NHL's been a little bit more. I mean, first round was fun. Watching the Grizzlies and Timberwolves was fun. Getting some of those matches was fun. I mean, watching the Brooklyn Nets crumble was, peak. That's just peak. But hey, man, I'm just chilling over here, enjoying life. Front facing the camera now. New setup. So enjoying that. But enough about me. We got our video producer Greg.
Alex. Now he really looks like Klay Thompson's lost brother.
That's a fact. And he looks lost out there. He might need me out there. Don't worry. I might be going out there for him soon.
Don't say that around Greg. Don't say he gets upset with Golden State slander. Watch out. What up, Greg?
What up, Greg? What's going on, bro?
What's going on? It's not the Golden State slander I don't like. It's just every round. My favorite thing about John, I love the guy to death. We talk gambling. We talk sports every day. It's just going to be, he said every round the Golden State's going to lose, and they're going to lose the finals. He's like, yes, I told you Golden State, it doesn't have it. It's like, what? And I know it's coming. I know it's going to happen, but I just, I'm between a rock and a hard place right now because of John and his Golden State stuff. I hate Golden State. I hate Steph Curry. And I hate Boston.
I love Steph Curry. That's the craziest part. I love Steph Curry.
Yeah.
How do you hate Steph Curry?
Dude, he's a good shooter, I guess. I mean,
wow. This answers a lot now.
Unanimous MVP. It's like Shaq can't get it, but this guy
MVP.
can. I don't get it.
Two-time MVP.
All right, so just so everyone knows, Greg asked a question in the Slack on if Steph Curry is a good passer. I'm like, yeah, he is. No response.
No,
but
not a good passer. Like elite. Like people try to tell me.
And he is. He's one of the better passes I've seen. Yes.
Greg has hot takes all over the place.
I mean, he's not even top 25 all time in assists, but all of a sudden he's just one of the best passers of all time. That's what I think the argument was. One of the best passers of all time. So, yeah, he makes good passes sometimes, but he's not like a true point guard in the sense that he's facilitating everything.
What is a true point guard? I don't even want to go down this road. This is a Jets podcast. But we're good. This is too early to go off the rails.
He's an absolute liability on defense. I mean, I could go on all day, but we're here to talk Jets.
God.
We're here to talk Jets, so I'll reel it in a little bit. Everything's been good, man. I'm really excited for this episode because we got a little fun thing planned for the end. Let's get into some of this news because OTAs are here. Not too much really is going on in Jets land, which I think for the first time in a while is like a great thing. Like I'm so happy.
It's amazing, man. Like I said from the top, it's just the most wonderful feeling ever that I'm not dying with every single throw that Zach Wilson has. Because I don't even know who wrote the article. I honestly don't care enough to go back and check it. But somebody wrote an article literally citing DJ Bieniemy's 2 tweets that Zach Wilson had 2 bad throws and wrote a whole article about how Zach Wilson's looking bad, which is amazing. So, like, here I am not even caring about that. Like, I feel like I'm in such a good place in Jets land. And I think that we were talking a little bit off air, but it starts from the top and it just trickles down to the bottom, man. The coaches are out here. Coach Salah talking about Rob Calabrese, who, you know, shout out to him, from East Islip, so a local guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's, you know, going through and telling us that it gives me Jeff Fisher vibes, but he was saying that, you know, he's getting calls from everyone, a little bit of Hugh Jackson vibes, that he's getting offensive coordinator calls already, which is really cool, hyping up his own guys. We got LaFleur. I feel like everyone's talking about how Zach Wilson's aged, maybe a year and a half to 2 years over this offseason because he got a little bigger, got a little taller. His, like, face grew in a little bit. Dude, look at LaFleur on the mic. Like, I encourage you guys after this podcast, just go pull up the last LaFleur or the newest LaFleur press conference if he talks on Tuesday. He's so comfortable out there. The way he's now talking about like the Falcons job and how he was able to jump and what happened after his first offseason there. He said the same thing about San Francisco and how it was completely different. And he's like, I'm growing with the, he's just like so comfortable. And it's just such a contrast from last year. Last year, it felt like just a bunch of kids running around, like with their heads cut off. Like, LaFleur doesn't know what he's doing. Salah's just screaming things. So, Wilson looks like a little kid. We have rookies everywhere. And it just feels good, man. It feels good to just – it feels like we're a real football team. I know we haven't put it up on the field yet, but for right now at this moment, it just feels like we're a real football team. I don't know. Am I crazy?
It feels like
Alex?
a real football team. No, it feels like a real football team because there's no drama. You know what? It's not like going through Hard Knocks and watching some crazy stuff or worrying
When
about.
Jets Drive is coming, don't worry, bro.
Oh man, the propaganda machine is coming down the pipeline.
I can't wait.
I love it.
Cannot wait.
I love it. And I hate it so much. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It
What do you
really
think
is
the
like,
headlines? What do you think the headlines are going to be this year?
for one.
We got
Jets
Carl
drive.
Lawson coming back.
Oh, Carl. Oh, like paper headlines or like one Jets
Like
drive.
the one
like,
Jets drive headlines, right? Like we got Carl Lawson coming back. We got a bunch of rookies. Zach Wilson growing up. Like everything's positive. There's no
You got probably
holdouts.
like the Revenge of Lawson, something like that. I don't know, something along those lines.
I'm
what
hyped,
is it?
man. I'm really hyped this year.
Battle
Everything's
for
it's
left
going to be something on
That's
Jordan.
gonna be something every time, right?
The tackle competition. That's going to be really fun. Jordan Whitehead coming in. I mean, I'm really excited. I mean, and he's a firecracker on and off the field apparently because he can't stay out of the news. I mean, it's OTAs. He got signed to a major deal. I don't know what it is about Jets and strong safeties, but we seem to love the news.
Yo, yeah, it's about that time. Jordan Whitehead, especially going, attacking fan-sided articles too. That's
From Tampa Bay. I mean, he's
Yeah.
been in the news, dude. He said, "I love everybody in Tampa. Just leave me alone." They took out a quote of his, kind of citing that the Jets are a better team than Tampa was, and so, it kind of just trickles down to that. He's quote unquote talking smack about the Bucks. Good. I'm glad he's talking smack about the Bucks. Hey, Greg, what have we been screaming about for the last year and a half on Winning Picks Weekly? The Bucks stink. They stink in prime time, and their defense is so bad. Like it's fine. It's fine that he did that.
Also, too, didn't the Bucks not even give him an offer for free agency? It's like, yeah, like what is he going to say? Like great things about the organization?
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for not even offering me a deal of any kind. Like, what is he supposed to say? I don't, it's headline season. We talked about it last week. It's storyline season. People just have to write stuff. They have deadlines to meet and stuff like that. So they got to write something.
Someone's got to write something, and someone's got to stir the pot, right?
Yeah.
But instead of having like bad news of like it's not even bad news. It's just an annoyance, right? It's like, why are we even talking about this? Why is this even relevant? But it is more relevant and more important than that. The Ring of Honor this year.
Let's go.
This Ring of Honor
this is our
year.
era.
And this is our era. I'm glad that you said that because this is our era for our age group, being in the 30s, like early 30s. This is like what really just like, woo. This was the time, man. Like, sure, we had Chad Pennington.
People ask why are you a Jets fan. This is it. Like, oh, they haven't won since you were, the 60s, blah, blah, blah. You weren't even alive. Like, this is why. Like, these guys right here.
Yeah, these guys made like two back-to-back AFC championships. Let's get that straight. There's a lot of hope. I mean, these guys, let's talk about the three right now. We got Ricochet Ferguson, Darrell Revis, and Nick Mangold. Like, three of the best at their position to ever do it for the Jets. Actually, I'll take that back. I'll take that back. I'll take that back. Kevin Mawai would probably have some words for Nick Mangold, but Nick Mangold is definitely up there as one of the best centers that we've ever had, in franchise history. But those three, man, like, talk about a star-studded draft, right?
But also, Mawai went to Tennessee, so Mangold's that all-time Jet, and I guess it kind of does mean something to the fan base. Like we all say, oh, whatever, when it's actually happening. But once they're finally retired, I can see how it makes a difference. Like Mangold is going to be above Mawai, even though the accolades might not show that. Like for the New York Jets, Mangold is just he's an ambassador now. He's a New York Jet through and through. So
Well, think about it, man. You're growing with a player, right? Like that's why New Yorkers love homegrown teams. They want to grow and see the athletes like they go through the ups and downs. They want to see a lot of success, but they will go through the ups and downs. Think about how we talk about like Patrick Ewing for the New York Knicks, right? If you're talking about the core four for the New York Yankees, why do you like them? Came through the system, came through the farm league, and they were successful, right? You talk about anyone from any sport, right? Look what the Rangers doing. Talk about the kids right now. People are going to be excited to watch these kids for the Rangers play for the next couple of years. All right. Because if they stick together, it's like, yo, I got to watch these kids. Like, I got to see their success, got to see how they developed over the years. And you feel proud because as a fan, we're just fanatics and we're just highly invested in these teams. And we want to see what happens every single year. It's the good and the bad that comes with being the sports fan. You're going to have some bad times, but through those bad times, we always talk about, oh, the damn games. Like you talk about Patrick Ewing, like, oh, the finger roll. But you know what you're going to talk about? You're also going to talk about Patrick Ewing's greatness, right? Like that's what it is. And with the Jets, that time period, even though it was very short for us, those 2 years were kind of magical with Mark Sanchez, the Sanchez at the helm with Nick Mangold, the Mad Backer, the Beard, all those guys on one team. It was a fun team to watch. And you had a loudmouth head coach.
Even Ed Reed was there. I mean, it was good times, man, and it was definitely a nice transition, right? We had the Testaverde and the Pennington, and then this was our age of Sanchez. Like, man, Greg, we were in college, man. We were watching these games. I mean, just screaming about them every day. I mean, this is our best memories and our worst memories, right? Like, we have the Patriot stuff. We got, the highs and lows of that. We got the lows of the Steelers. We got the highs and lows of the Colts. We beat Peyton Manning, smacked Peyton Manning, and then he crushed my whole soul, trying to get to the Super Bowl after the second half comeback. Like, what do you think about, these three and this era in general?
I mean, all-time greats. Like, obviously for the Jets, but honestly for their positions. Like, when these guys were playing, they were the best in the league at their respective positions. Like, Darrelle Revis obviously can go down possibly the best cornerback of all time. And then Mangold and Brick, I mean, those guys were monumental in the success that we had. So it was great to watch. It was great to be a part of it. Alex talked about Mark Sanchez. I remember where I was when we drafted him. Like, I was so excited that we got him because it was like, okay, USC, he's been killing it. This is the piece we need because we have the team. And like you said, back-to-back AFC Championship appearances, some success in the playoffs, more success than we've seen since and more success we've seen before. So it was a great run. We didn't get it done and win a Super Bowl, but it was all-time vibes for those years. It was great for us. Like you said, it was like right after high school, all through college. Every year we were competitive. Every year we knew we were going to have one of the best, if not the best defense in the league. All we needed was competent quarterback play and a rushing attack, and some years we had it, some years we didn't. But with these pieces that are going into the Ring of Honor, there's a reason why we were successful. And honestly, something to think about, like going forward, like 2 offensive linemen and a shutdown corner. There's a chance we have 2 offensive linemen that we just drafted that are young and up and coming guys, and a shutdown corner that we just drafted that, if we can replicate some version of what we had, maybe we get on a little run here as a franchise. So,
man, those are such good times. And we always knew we had the head coach who was annoying, but he would sound like us, right? Like going there screaming about the Patriots, like from day one.
But that's what we loved, right? It's because it felt like, and that was the thing. It felt like you had a fan coaching your team who was as passionate as a fan,
like a fan though.
Coaching. Sometimes he did, which was to his detriment, and that's why some players lasted a little bit longer than others and got some favoritism. But that was what made that era fun. And I think the one of the craziest things I'll say is think about DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Like, I just want, because him, right? And like when we talk about excellence, you guys know that he only missed 1 snap of his entire career?
Yeah.
Like 1
dude.
snap.
Yeah, it was because he had to. Because
he had to.
Helmet.
Do you know how many snaps he's actually played?
No.
Do you know the actual number?
Go ahead.
He played 10,300. He counted for 10,351 snaps. Only missed 1. So it would have been 10,352. You knew this man never missed a game. Talk about Iron Man, bro. Iron Man status. And that's what we're hoping for. And that's why you see like someone like Becton come through. You're like hoping that he could be like another guy who's like another DeBrickashaw Ferguson, even though hasn't started out like Brick, because Brick never missed a game. But the intensity, the greatness, man, those times were good. And he had Mangold, one of the smartest centers, talented centers. And then Rivas.
Yeah, dude. And since this is such a feel-good episode, we're in feel-good vibes right now. We're going to have a little game today where we try and solve the current New York Jets problems, right? And wherever you see that whatever unit needs the most help. And we're going to draft them with ex-Jets players. However, the caveat is they cannot be in the Jets Ring of Honor because that's too easy, right? Like Mawai, Mango, everyone's a great pick. We'll just throw them in. That's no fun. So we're going to mostly go – these are like the real fan favorites in here. We're gonna fix this roster because not only is it feel good and we get to, keep reminiscing about our old, favorite Jets players here on this great episode that we're kind of honoring the Ring of Honor, but also it kind of is going to go with my little narrative that I'm slowly pushing here. I got an agenda, and we're not that far off. Like, I don't think this New York Jets team is that far off. Like, we don't need superstars. We don't need Hall of Famers in order to, like, do something here. I honestly think a couple of plugs in here, even old guys that nobody cares about, that just, like, name favorites for us, I really think that it would be able to get us over the top. I mean, we're going to do the schedule coming up soon, the way too early prediction on an episode coming up soon. But I was going back and forth with somebody on Twitter. Dude, like 7 games is really right there. And then, 7 games feels like the floor here. And if you could bump it up to 8 or 9, like that, then we're talking wild card. We're definitely in the hunt. So here we are. We got our first annual, Knicks, Jets, etc. Jets episode snake draft. We got all of us 3 on here. Greg, do you have an order for us?
Yeah, I can do it real quick. We're doing a little randomize here.
Yeah, let's do a little random.
So it's gonna be a snake draft. And then we're going to do what, 3 picks each?
Yeah, 3 picks each.
And the caveat is that let me just make sure that we're doing this right. So we can choose players, but when we're choosing the players, it has to be obviously how they played with the Jets, right? Like it can't be like I'm gonna choose
Le'Veon Bell. No.
Yeah, you can't choose Le'Veon Bell Le'Veon Bell. Yeah, you have to choose. So like when we choose somebody, they had to have been good, hopefully, with the Jets.
Yeah, it has to be when they're playing with the Jets. But you know what? I'm gonna expand the field a little bit. You can pick a coach if you want, if that really makes you happy. If you want to switch out one of our coaches for this guy, because remember you're gonna replace him, right? So if you were to hypothetically pick Chad Pennington, Zach Wilson's out or he's benched or whatever it is. So
I'm just making sure that no one chooses. I'm just making sure no one chooses Ed Reed.
Yeah.
No, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do a Jets celebration episode and talk Ed Reed. I don't think that's where we're going here.
Okay, I like that. So, all right. So, order here. I got John 1, Alex 2, Greg 3. So, I'll write that down.
All right.
So
First pick here. All right. So,
I mean, and since this is a snake draft, so everyone knows Greg is on the turn. So that means he goes twice. And so will John to end us out. Yeah, and we're always selecting 3 players, right? 3 players.
Yep. So I'll start off in what I think, and I've been preaching, is the weakest part of our entire team. Happens to be our defense. Happens to be linebacker. And I'm tossing it up here now because I know there's fan favorites all over here on the defensive line. So I'm giving you guys, some options here, but I'm going with my man David Harris, dude. If we could have David Harris next to CJ Mosley, like I don't know. I feel like that would be an unstoppable run defense. First of all, nobody's running anywhere. And then on the coverage, he was pretty damn good too. He was the leader of our defense. I don't think he's ever going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't even think he's a fringe Hall of Famer. But you know what I mean? He's just a guy that we got in the second round that actually hit. So he has, that part of my heart because he's a second rounder that actually hit for the New York Jets. And second of all, he's just been a beast. What feels like my whole life, right? Like he got drafted in 2007. He was riding with us until 2016, and then we don't count that 2017 year. Never happened, never existed.
I don't know what you're talking
We just
about.
don't talk about it. We just don't talk about it. But dude, yeah, I'll take 3 to 5 sacks and a million tackles.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking first too. It's like if I'm gonna pick anyone, it's probably gonna be a linebacker, and Harris to me is right up there at the top of the list. So I agree with you, especially because like again with the draft, we're trying to fix or fill the needs for this current team, and we've talked about it. Linebacker is definitely a weak spot for us. So him and Mosley together, I mean, that would be such an upgrade for us. It would be incredible. 10 plus years,
Man.
playing all the time, 100 tackles locked in, easy. We need
I'm
something
gonna keep
like
praying
that.
for a linebacker, bro. It's gonna keep praying. I'll do Jets drafts. Jets fan drafts is gonna be a linebacker. Anything to help us.
Man, John going
Alex.
with David Harris. That's a good choice. It's a very, very good choice. Very good choice.
On the clock.
I know I got my
No
two
trades.
picked. I'm really nervous Alex is going to sneak one right here.
I think Alex is gonna take one of your guys, but we have not discussed this at all. This is just in my head.
Yo.
So wait, I'm just curious. So David Harris is playing what? What? He's playing
Linebacker.
middle linebacker. Middle
linebacker
He's
linebacker.
playing
Yeah.
linebacker, bro. He's
He's playing linebacker. So okay.
I don't care who plays the Sam and who plays the damn. They're gonna kill everyone.
Okay. This is pretty tough, man.
It's tough because it's like when they were on the Jets. So there's a lot of names
Yeah.
out there that's like,
How are you fixing this team, Alex? Where are you looking?
Jeez, I think I'm looking at safety, man.
okay.
I'm looking at safety. I'm not real shout out to Jordan Whitehead for clapping back clapping back and standing his ground. But Marcus Joyner, man,
He's good. He's just not healthy.
he's good. He's not healthy. But I'm thinking of like safety, of like moving people around.
Who
Yeah, do
got
what
at
you want.
safety
Get a
for the
little
Jets?
crazy. Get a little crazy.
Who do you got?
Get a little crazy.
He's bringing 33 back
right.
in here.
That would be something.
Nah. You know what though?
Couple of good 33s.
No, I'm not bringing in 33. I'm not gonna bring it. I'm not gonna bring it in. I'm bringing Kerry Rhodes. I'm gonna move Jordan Whitehead.
Okay.
All right.
Let's bring in Kerry Rhodes. Get Kerry Rhodes back there, baby. Let's strengthen our safety crew. All right. Let's get some good eyes back there. Good hawk eyes watching the QB, making sure we got the deep ball protected. All right. We'll go with Kerry Rhodes to help round this out because I don't trust Marcus Joyner. But I'm gonna move Jordan Whitehead over to play strong safety.
I mean, he
That's
would
what I'm
love
going
that, dude. He would love that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's been a little mad about how he's not respected by Jets Nation. He made that known a couple of years back on the Twitter world. I mean, I'll never forget that fumble 6 he had with us. That was fun, right?
Mhm.
He had a couple good games. I don't love him, but the Jets really have slim pickings out here at free safety. We had a lot of fun, strong safeties, right? Like Double A, even Jamal Adams, Whitehead now, like a lot of fun guy. Eric Smith, even just killing people out there. Coleman, I think, played there for a little bit, but I don't mind this pick, dude. K Rhodes is fine. We just haven't had that premier guy. Now I know why you're asking
We
about
never-
Ed Reed, though. You're trying to get that Ravens Ed
Trying to
Reed out
fix that
there.
safety spot.
Look, man, I'm looking for a guy
Gotta be
that's a
slick
ball
out
hawk
here.
back there.
I
Looking
feel
for a
you.
ball hawk, all right? And I think not saying that Kerry Rhodes is a ball hawk for the Jets, but
That's all we got.
that's all. It's legitimately
honestly,
all
it's
we
the best
got.
we got.
And it's not like appreciation to Jim Leonard. Love Jim Leonard.
Oh, Jimmy Leonard. Okay. That's
He's
not
a good
bad
one. He's a good one.
Yep.
Oh,
He's
that's
not
a good
bad
one.
one,
Keep that in my
but-
pocket. You give me some answers.
But like they're
Coach,
I know I'm
that's
giving you some
Coach
good
Leonard
answers.
to you. That's Coach Leonard.
Exactly. He was Coach Leonard, smart guy on the field.
Oh, Greg,
All
he's in
of
my
them-
back pocket. I'm
all of
letting you
them
know
are
right now.
athleticism.
But it's on you.
All right,
What
so
you
I got
here? Go
I
to
got
third
two
pick.
picks right now, and they're going to be two spots that we talked about all season. Like we need to address in the offseason. We need to address in the offseason. We need to address in the offseason. Have we done it? We don't know yet. But
I know
two
the two
players.
guys.
we'll start
I
with
know
one that
them.
that would have fixed it, no problem. Muhammad Wilkerson. Give me
Ooh.
Yeah,
Mo
that's a good one.
Wilkerson rushing on the left side every time. I mean, we're talking about a guy that had one season had 10 and a half, 12 sacks, again, drafted in 2011, was with us till 2017. There were some ups and downs. There were some injuries. There was some off the field stuff. But when it came time to ball, when our defense
There's
was
also some no
rolling,
production either, bro.
yeah, there was some slow seasons or some slow spots. Don't get me wrong, but when we
Oh,
needed
I love
it,
how you slow seasons. I like that.
yeah, there's a couple in there, 6 sacks, 5 sacks, still would help our team right now. And that's what we're trying to do. So, yes, we got Jermaine Johnson. We don't know what he's going to be. So, if you're talking about bringing someone in that fills a void, I think Wilkerson would have done a great job rushing for us. He would have just been the 1-2 punch that we needed to really get after the quarterback. So, that's who I'm going with in the first round.
I'm nervous about your second pick. Because I think one of my guys is going to make it.
Oh, boy.
Who you got? Who you got here? What position are you going with?
So we talked again. We need help at the wide receiver position. We need help all year. We need a big body, someone we can look to in the red zone, someone that can stretch the field. His time on the Jets was short.
I know who this is.
But
Can I
when
guess it?
he was
Yeah,
here, who was it?
Go ahead. You can finish a little
It
quick.
was Brandon Marshall.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say
I
It
knew you
was
were going Brandon
1,500 yards. It was 14 touchdowns. It was all pros. It was Pro Bowls. It was him and someone else I won't say because I got to respect the draft. Going off at the wide receiver spot. It was the best passing offense that the Jets have put together, at least that I can remember. So watching that offense throw the ball down the field, I hope we can get back to it with Wilson. I hope that the people that we've picked up in this draft and the draft before with Moore and Wilson again can give us enough options that we have a couple guys who can get it done. But Brandon Marshall, the speed, the power, the hands, all that combination, something that we desperately need on our team right now. So those are my two picks.
Well, that leaves Marshall, Corey Davis, Wilson, Moore, and Berrios.
Yep.
It's not bad.
That's a solid five. That's a solid five.
It's a solid 5. Interested. So I'm liking how Greg's positional need is still solidifying the D line.
Yep.
And he's also reassuring the wide receiver. I like it.
I was thinking about as soon as we brought up this topic. You're right. As soon as we brought up this topic, to be honest with you, Brandon Marshall was one of the first names that came to me because he's just that tall body, right? It's not. We don't need the other guy that you're talking about, his running mate, or we don't need that other guy, LC, like we, 80s, like we don't need 87s, we honestly don't need them right now.
You just think about the names that we talked about this season, because again, we're not going to be drafting them because they weren't Jets, but his running mate in Chicago, Allen Robinson, big body guy, can go up and get the ball. DK Metcalf. We talked about AJ Brown or whatever down in Tennessee's now an Eagle. These are big body guys that we need. And maybe we got it with Garrett Wilson. Is obviously not as big and strong as these guys, but he's got the hands, he's got the route running, he's got the athleticism. So we'll see. But again, both positions or stuff we talked about all offseason we need. And these guys are all time. I mean, Mo Wilkerson, I think, is that defense. We'll get to the rest of the draft. We'll talk about it. But that defensive line, when they were humming, I mean, there was nothing like it. So, Alex, you're up. Your second pick here.
Okay, I'm actually not as concerned about the wide receiver as you are to go out and get Brandon Marshall. I'm actually I like what we're going with wide receiver.
Okay.
But I am going to go back to the defensive side. I am going back to the defensive side. And it ain't for linebacker.
I know who this is too.
I'm thinking pass rusher.
Okay.
Yeah, his first name is the same as mine.
I think a pass rusher, all right?
Yeah.
I want a guy who's going to maul people at the line. Big body.
Yeah.
Give me Sean Ellis, baby. Give me Sean Ellis.
Oh, I like that.
I love that. That was one of my 2 picks. That was what, so that's what I was hoping.
Give me Sean
for.
Ellis.
Dude, he was an absolute monster
Beast
on the Jets. He's one of the guys that literally nobody talks about, and it sucks for him a little bit. I'm shocked that he wasn't in the Ring of Honor. He was the one player where I went through and I was like, wow, I can't believe that Sean Ellis is in there. I mean, by today's numbers, not too shabby. Like a 12.5 sacks in the season, that even holds up today. And I don't know. He's 33 years old. He had 3.5 sacks in his first 6 games. I mean, the guy was a beast throughout his whole career with us. I remember for a time I couldn't even watch a Jets game, but you just knew that Sean Ellis was going to come out there and dominate. So I mean, that's a typical New York Jet. I wanted him to line him up with Harris, but Sean Ellis, dude, he's the man.
Sean Ellis, I mean, played the left side for such a long time. Dude was amazing, bro. And like the thing is that he played his position so well where he didn't need to dominate with the numbers, but you just knew he was making an impact on the field because he played the position just so well and so right. I remember writing an article for when Empire Writes Back, part of Fanside was still active, and I was trying to think of like the top 3 Jets during the 2010s, and I wanted to include Sean Ellis, but he only played 1 year after he played 2010 and 2011. He didn't play. The early like 2000 to 2010 was like his frame, unfortunately. Like, can you imagine if it was actually with that team that we talk about? He was, but it's just like, you imagine like even down the line, like further down the line with like seeing like maybe with the Fitzmagic era, right? Having like a more solid defense then. Because you need someone with a little bit more veteran leadership outside of Muhammad Wilkerson, young guys like Sheldon Richardson, and guys like that. So I wish Ellis could have played a little bit longer, but he had a solid 11-year career with the New York Jets.
So I'm gonna stay on that line. The other guy, he has my first name. I mentioned he's got 2 numbers. I personally like the 94 version of him better than the 56 version, regardless of any number stats, because that was just my guy, dude. And that's, of course, Johnny Abraham, my dude, the last pass rusher that we had on this New York Jets team. I mean, that was when I, started having to defend myself in school for my fandom, right? Like right at the 2000 draft, we had Keyshawn Johnson, who had just wrote that book. So everyone's like making fun of me, like, how are you a Jets fan? Yada, yada, yada. The Giants still had their cool old school logo going, their colors, their old colors. Like, they were the good team. The Jets stunk. We traded for Johnny Abraham. He absolutely killed it in the first half of the season, got injured, came back, had a monster year, but he put up like 13 sacks, went to the Pro Bowl, came back, got injured again, and then there's basically all she wrote for the Jets career until he came back, whatever, later on. But you're talking about wish he could have done better, wish he could have stayed healthy. I mean, Johnny Abraham's the ultimate guy. If he was on this team, if he stayed healthy, if he never moved on, in the trade, I feel like he would have been an all-time player for the New York Jets. And I feel like he just slips through the cracks.
Definitely happens with some of these guys. I mean, he had a long career after he left our organization. I mean, he was lights out when he was with us. So what could have been? I mean, that was right in the heat of it too, where we could have used them. I mean, we could have used them for these runs. God, I didn't realize he played till he was 36.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. He never left, dude. He just kept playing, but like we just forget because for the New York Jets, we only had a little glimpse of him. But for some reason, in my head, he's always remembered as New York Jet. I'm sure Falcons fans only remember him, as an Atlanta Falcon. So
sure,
that's all. That's all I got on that piece. Do you guys have anything to add on Johnny Abraham?
I mean, he was just a monster. He was just a monster, as you said. But wish he could have been longer played here longer as a New York Jet. I mean, there's just so many guys throughout history where you just wish they could have had a little bit longer career, and that's kind of been the issue with the Jets, and that's kind of why we're excited about this new team, right? It feels like these guys can be our own and a core that we can watch grow over a period of time. And a lot of these guys, we either draft them and then leave too early, or we get them too late at the end of their career. And for Abraham, it was just you left too early. So that's I wish he could have stayed a Jet. There's a lot of guys I wish that could have stayed a Jet, and could have had a healthy career, like Chad Pennington. I wish Chad Pennington could have stayed a Jet and had a healthy career.
I mean, get a healthy career first, then stay a Jet. I feel like that in that order for me. But I'm gonna round it out with another guy that's in our era, that's actually in the era of the Ring of Honor. And this is more of a bolster pick. This is just to, unfortunately for my boy Bryce Hall, like this would kind of move him out of the rotation. And I'm really adding to what I think is one of our strengths, right? Like we added a big time free agent cornerback. We added our 4th round pick. And now we're going to add number 31, bro. Add, everyone talking about how Gardner needs to be Cromartie. Let's just add Cromartie, put him next to Gardner, and then throw DJ Reed in there and just have dominant cornerback. So that's my full team: Harris, Abraham,
Cromartie,
just to get us just 2 more wins. You guys think they'll get us 2 more wins, get us to the playoffs here?
I mean, we'll talk about that at the end after we did. I'm not gonna give awards over here. Right, we could all debate and see who's got the better team. But fine. I like it. I like the pick. I like Cromartie. As you said, Sauce Gardner. We talk about how Sauce Gardner has the build of Cromartie, so it just makes sense to go get Cromartie. And I feel like Cromartie, he always got a lot of heat from Jets fans because we were expecting just 2 shutdown corners. But no one ever realized how much he got peppered versus Darrelle Revis, like by targets. Like he saw double to triple the amount of targets. And that's just a lot more work for Cromartie. And like whenever someone made a catch, like, of course they're making a catch. It's like, well, by sheer numbers alone, people are going to be making catches on Cromartie because no one's going to throw Revis's way. So Cromartie had to work double. And I think we need to give a little bit more appreciation to Crow than he usually gets on it, than when he was a New York Jet. I just remember the first time seeing him come to the team, and the first thing was the Chargers, like the tackle that he didn't dive in for. He's like, watch back, like, oh, no. I'm good. Not doing anything.
They also want to go after the guy that got a bunch of interceptions versus Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
True.
That's for sure. But for my second pick, this is interesting. It's going to be my last pick. I went 2 defensive players. Do I want to go offense to round it out and add it, or do I want to stick defense?
I feel like I'm in the green room right now on draft day. I want one of my guys to be picked. Who you got?
See, the thing is, like, people are probably wondering, like, why I'm not taking anyone on offense, but I think our offense is fine. I'm actually not too worried about offense because I think we've loaded up on offense the last 2 seasons, so that's why I haven't taken anyone. I think defense could just continuously take another step forward. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go linebacker this route. I'm gonna go linebacker.
Oh,
all right.
Come on.
I'm gonna go linebacker. I'm gonna go
2 linebackers
to a guy.
I'm in my head. Is he a Saint? Was he a Saint for a while?
No, he was not a Saint for a while. But this guy is one of our favorite hosts of a podcast or a radio show. This guy's a beast. This guy had the nickname the Mad Backer. Number 57, Bart Scott. Can't wait. Gotta take Bart Scott. Gotta add some. We need defensive intensity on this team. And there's no one that brings more intensity than Bart Scott. You got Bart Scott, Sean Ellis, huh?
I thought I had this locked up. I had 2 minutes ready to go on Bart Scott. You kind of led me though. You're like, oh, I went defense. Maybe I'm gonna go offense now. I was like, he already drafted a linebacker. There's no way he's going another linebacker. I think that's a great pick, man. We need the heart, we need intensity. We need that fire from our defense. Bart Scott.
You want to talk about vocal leader?
Yeah.
That's the thing that I'm missing from this defense. Like I'm missing that fiery vocal leader who's gonna like get you going, And he played with Ray Lewis for a little bit down in Baltimore, so I think he learned from
he
there.
might be
and
louder
seeing-
than Ray Lewis at this point. He does not.
He's
stop.
definitely
He just
louder.
screams
He's
constantly.
he's definitely louder than Ray Lewis, and with his Detroit accent, it makes it even much more beautiful because when he's angry, bro. So watching him, having him, Sean Ellis, put Kerry Rose back there, I think our defense takes an improvement because I'm pretty fine on the offense, but I guess I'm just used to seeing the 09 2010 Jets having a solid defense all the time. I just want that defensive intensity to come back. So let's go. Bart Scott, Sean Ellis, Kerry Rhodes, not in that order, in the reverse order. Let's go.
I like that, Bart Scott.
What about you, Greg? What about you?
Dude, I'm scrambling now. I had Bart Scott
He's
written
tilting.
down
He's
20 minutes ago.
tilting.
I was ready to go. I was gonna say you only need 2 words about this guy, and that's can't wait. He's the most giftable Jet of all time. Still use him to this day. I mean, he was great. The fact
Can't wait.
The fact he went 2 linebackers still is blowing my mind. But we're gonna survive. We're gonna adapt. We're gonna overcome.
Ellis not a linebacker. Come on, he's on the line.
That's true. Oh yeah, I guess my fault. I thought Kerry Rhodes, but you're right. He's safety. So you went all 3 levels on defense. I like that.
Yeah,
I did.
And so did I. I went Harris at the linebacker, Abraham on the line, and Cromartie in the secondary.
Yeah, God. So I'm the only one going offense. So you guys are all set on offense.
It's just
it's all
shocking.
good.
We're fine
Well,
with
here's the thing. I would add Curtis Martin, but he's in the Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Okay. Wayne Krebet, I would have to just put in there, even though I feel like him and Barrios running over the field would just be really fun and more. But I don't even know if I would pick him. Like, it's unnecessary. We have,
That's
Marshall
the thing.
was
Like
a
we
really
have
good pick because we don't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Marshall, probably the thing I'll regret is not taking Marshall, if I had to be honest. But I also look at this offense and I'm like, we have wide receivers, we have running backs. Outside of Curtis Martin, who am I going to take? Like Chris Ivory? Like I'm not taking. I'm not taking.
Well,
I'm not taking LT for one season.
I know.
So-
I'm looking at 2 I'm looking at 2 running backs right now. So maybe we'll get to some honorable mentions
And I'm
as well.
definitely not
Yeah.
taking Sean Green.
Yeah.
Definitely not taking Sean Green.
I was
I mean,
thinking about him.
I don't know
He
if
was
I would
okay
draft
for one
him.
season.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
All right,
He was
so
okay for one season.
I'll round this draft out. I'll still go linebacker. John alluded to him earlier. He loved the Jets so much he came back a second time. He went down to Cleveland and was like, "This ain't
We
it. It's
screwed
not
him
the New
both
York
times.
Jets." Yeah, we have interesting.
I know who
interesting
I
history
like
with
this guy.
Demario Davis, but I'm taking him. Great
He's a good one. That's a
interior
good one.
linebacker for us. We need run stoppers. So this is actually what I was between. I was between Demario Davis and I was between Snacks because I got Mo Wilkerson already.
Snacks is a
It's
good
like,
one.
Let's go Stack Harrison and just clog up this defense. So those were the 2 that I was kind of going back and forth with in my head. But I think we got to, Q Will's got an interesting year this year. He's got a prove-it year for us on the defensive line in the middle. So I'm going to go with Demario Davis right now. I think we need a linebacker. I think we all agree we need a linebacker because we all took one. So give me Demario Davis. Sucks that he probably had his best years in New Orleans after he left our team, but still, he was great for us when we had him in those, early 2012, 13, 14 years. So, yeah, that rounds it out for me. Mo Wilkerson 1, Brandon Marshall 2, Demario Davis 3.
And you
Nice,
want
nice.
Snacks as your honorable mention?
Yeah, that's what I was between. I was between those 2 guys, and I was thinking another offensive guy. What do you guys think about Thomas Jones as a running back?
I just don't think I love. So that's my jersey, right?
One
that I
good
hang up
season.
behind me every day.
He had
That's
a couple
That's
years.
Thomas Jones jersey. I just the whole exercise. I like our running backs.
That was
I like
my
Breece
problem
Hall.
too.
I like Michael Carter, and even our backups are fine. So we have Coleman hanging out there. I even like Ty Johnson. I know I'm crazy, but they're fine. I wouldn't waste one of my 3 picks to try to update that, to be honest with you.
That's who I was.
And that's kind of why I went all defense because I'm legitimately happy with what we have on offense, even though we haven't seen Garrett Wilson play, even though we haven't seen Zach Wilson in a second stint. I'm still fine with what this team's potential is. That I don't think offense is another way to go. Like one, like, I guess the bigger thing is, like, I'm confident in Zach Wilson, even though he's taking a step next season. But two, even if he's not, having Brandon Marshall out there with a quarterback that's kind of like, a little shaky doesn't really make a big difference. But the thing that will make a big difference is if you have a solid edge rusher, solid linebacker, and a solid pass coverage. So that's why I went in that direction. And, with Thomas Jones, yeah, I mean, as a Jet, he had 2 good seasons, like rushing like, he had 3. He was 1,000-yard rusher for 3 seasons.
He
But
was
when I think about
year. Not a lot of touchdowns
Yeah.
his first year, but
not a lot of touchdowns, but the other thing is too, like, how much did it actually translate to winning? And, like, we were truly, like, 2008 was Brett Favre, and so, like, Brett Favre had the thumb, so he couldn't throw for part of the season. And then who was 2007 that really that we're really lighting it up? You know what I mean? We went 4-12, so it's cool. He had 1,000 rushing yard season, but we went 4-12 as a Jets. That's why, like, I really think it's like one good season because it actually translated to something with that 09 season.
All right. So do you have a real quick? Do you have a honorable mention for you? I'll give Snacks Harrison to Greg, just on the way back here. You have another guy here, just for fun.
Honorable mention. Woo. I guess. So Greg took Snacks. Even though he was a problem child here, I did enjoy it. I'm gonna go Sheldon Richardson. Sheldon was
nice.
Sheldon was solid, man. He was solid,
nice.
like solid, like
nice.
Clogged the middle, fast off the line.
Speaking of problem childs, I'm going with another one. That's how I'll end it here. I'm going with Santana Moss. My absolute dude, bro. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what he said to who. I love Santana Moss. I loved him when he went to Washington. That was the first ever away jersey that I ever wanted to buy because Santana Moss went. I was like, dude, I really want a new Santana Moss jersey. So I didn't do it, but that was the closest I ever got. That's gonna be my honorable. It doesn't help anything with this team. That's why I didn't pick him. But I just want Santana Moss. Lavernius Coles was on my mind too. Shout out to him. Eric Decker, like those guys are cool.
I was thinking about Decker. I was thinking about Cole, but to your Lavernius Coles, but to your point, like Brandon Marshall is just the body type and the thing that we need the most. So, I was thinking too at the end, maybe
another
Fitzpatrick, Fitzy, get that Brandon Marshall and Fitzy combo going.
I'll never forgive him for that Buffalo game.
Stop this.
Sorry.
Stop this with his impromptu retirement.
I'll never forgive him.
Congratulations, Fitz. Congratulations on your retirement.
That's a good episode.
All right, guys. This is a good place to end it. What got everyone
obviously
tuned
won.
In?
Obviously, my team's the best.
Obviously, my team's the best, but you gotta let us know.
I'm the best one. What are we talking about? I got the best team, right? People are probably like, like I get it. Come on. I got the safety. I got all 3 levels. Why are you taking another corner when we got corners, John? What are we doing?
I'll take Cromartie over Kerry Rhodes 11 times out of 10.
That's a fact.
I'm not even joking.
It's a fact, but I trust our corners. I trust our corners. That's why.
Fair enough.
But on that note, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, Etc. podcast. Make sure to leave a comment down below. Let us know who you think won. Give us your comments. Who are guys that we missed out on? All right. We know this is a very short list, 3 players each with some honorable mentions at the end. Let us know who you would take and who are players that you think would help improve this team that are not in the Ring of Honor or Hall of Famers. But on top of that, as you know, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're on Apple, Spotify, Google Play, Amazon, Alexa, Stitcher, you name it. We are there. If you listen to us on Apple or Spotify, please make sure to give us that 5-star rating. And if you listen to us on Apple, please make sure to leave a comment. We're also on Fansided, all right? We're partnered with Fansided, Minute Media. You can find us over at the Jet Press, the Daily Knicks, and probably the Fanside main page too, depending if they write about the Jets or the Knicks. We're also on YouTube.
Maybe they'll light us up right now for talking about the Tampa Fansided versus Jordan Whitehead.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll make it to the top right now.
Maybe we'll make it. Maybe we will make it. We're also on YouTube. Knicks, Jets, etc. Type it in. Find the page. Subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way you know when it drops.
Top it
you
in.
Watch a video. Hit the like button.
Like it. Subscribe it.
Do it all. Do it all. All right. Leave a comment, especially after this one. Like I said, let us know your thoughts. And while you're also over there, we got another podcast, Winning Picks Weekly, also sponsored by Minute Media. John, video producer Greg, our guy Chip Murphy, co-host Chip Murphy. These guys go through every sport possible and give you their takes on betting odds. So if you need to put money down on the line and you're unsure what to do, go check these guys out, but make sure to bet responsibly. And then last and certainly not least, please make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you name it. We are there. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for another Jets episode of the Knicks, Jets, etc. podcast. We out.
Let's go, Jets.